Another misty morning on the Loch Ness. Well, good morning. That was a lovely night's sleep until about 3 o'clock in the morning when the anchor alarm went off and the wind had changed direction. And let's have a look at what happened there, shall we? This is where I was originally anchored, and then the wind changed and I just went ooh at that distance there. That is 0.1 of a mile, I think. And then the anchor held again, so that was good, and it stayed there all night. I was really pleased about that. But after yesterday's zigzagging all the way from Fort Augustus up to where I anchored, I today have 0.0 meters per second of wind. So I need to decide if I want to motor up the rest of Loch Ness or wait until some wind comes, which unfortunately, according to Predict Wind or Windy or whichever one of the many that I look at, is going to be coming straight from the northeast down the loch, straight on the nose, rather than the lovely easterly which made me drag my anchor last night. That would be ideal, because that would take me a nice broad reach straight into that gap. A gap which is actually quite a long way. I set this up recording exactly where I went last night, and as you can see, my total distance dragged was actually 391 feet. But I never went beyond that 10 metre mark contour. So I stayed actually within 11 metres of water when the alarm went off. What am I in now? 10 metres now. So, you know, that's all good. And obviously looking at that, that was a northwesterly wind that took me there, not an easterly. It's morning, I'm tired. Well, I waited a while, but the wind didn't blow up. So I'm still got like zero wind. And I'm just cruising along very nicely at, I don't know, 1400 RPM, 1200 RPM, something like that. Just about 3 knots. Oh, I've calibrated my compass again. Went round and round, did my autopilot. That was fun. Look, you can see here where I did those circles, round and round, just to calibrate the compass. But let's just have a moment and look and see how beautiful Loch Ness is, shall we? The sun did just come out from behind that cloud and was warm enough to take my woolly hat off. But, you know, it's only, what, 10:30 in the morning, so maybe it's got time to come out. So I thought, with the weather being so nice, I'll try and calibrate this compass as well to the course over ground. You can see there that that is 85, and our course over the ground 85.2. I think my east-west is pretty much perfect. I'm going to get to the other side of the loch, and then I'm going to go exactly north according to my course over the ground GPS thing. With no tide and no wind, it's got to be the same as my ship's compass, and then we'll show you how to swing your compass. Right, well, for all I told the autopilot to go 90, you can see up here we're only doing 85, but everything is in agreement. so I'm not worried about that just now. I think I have enough space to head north. That's showing something like 350 degrees. That's telling me it's 359, so that's north. 360, well that's north. And the pilot, north. So let's adjust the ship's compass a little bit. Underneath the ship's compass we have this little swinging device. If you pull it out, you'll see on this side it says SN for south north, and on this side it says EW for east west. Now I've got to remember that the tab goes at the bottom because my east west is correct, and I'm going to turn those with the screwdriver. Now I do not know which way to turn this, but I do know I only need to turn it a little bit, and so I'm going to turn it a little bit. There we go, that'll do. Let's see if that made it better or worse. Straight in, all the way in, and let's go and have a look at the other side. Oh, well, I'll have that. North, north true, north magnetic. That was easier than I thought it would be. I was expecting I'd turn it the wrong way first. So there you go, that's how you can swing your compass. I thought I'd take the opportunity to give the decks a swabbing. Just get rid of all of the dust and the dirt and, you know, make it all nice and clean. And then I looked ahead, and that is quite definitely rain. I'm about to head into rain with clean decks. I could have just put my waterproofs on, and instead of getting buckets I could have... Right, I'm going to go and quickly back this way and put my waterproofs on. We'll see what happens next. Well, the rain didn't come, but it brought some wind, which of course is exactly the direction that I really want to go. And I could start zigzagging my way up to the top, but I'm only about 2 miles away from an anchorage that I want to go to for lunch, right next to what I believe is Urquhart Castle, which I shall show you just now. There you go. Lots of people enjoying Urquhart Castle. Yeah, so there's not a lot of anchoring space. Look at this. It does ramp up rather quickly, but I'm sure we can manage. Oh, here we are. I am in 3 meters of water. I dropped my anchor in 10 meters of water and drifted backwards just in time for this load of nasty rain to appear. So I think I'll nip downstairs and have my lunch. So we are here, Urquhart Castle. There's a pier there that is private, there's Temple Pier which is private, and there is overnight charges if you want to go up to the Drummondroch Harbour, which is privately owned, or you can anchor for free. And me being me, I'm going free. Anyway, it's lunchtime, and I'm going to have for lunch this lovely mashed potato with stewed steak. I don't think there's any vegetables in this can, and unfortunately, for all I want some vegetables, if I put vegetables in with that as well, probably going to eat too much food. Decisions. Eat too much food. Where would you have cooked your vegetables? Would you have put them in the potato or in the meat? Now, you see, putting in the meat, I thought they would probably end up just being meat flavoured. So I went with the potato, where it will be slightly drier. What is your choice? The rain kind of only sprinkled a little bit, so I decided to treat myself to some al fresco dining. Check out this delight. You know that you've got the best when you're with the Brock. Hello? Pedigree chum? No, you can't have the patent. No, it's my patent and I like it. It's mine, all mine. Goodbye. Well, the wind's been high and the wind's been low, and I'll go. And I got to the top of Loch Ness. I sailed and zigged and zagged a bit, and then I motored a bit, and then I sailed and zigged and zagged a bit as the wind came up and the wind came down. And now I'm just motoring into the top of Loch Ness. Don't want to get too close to that. That is the River Ness. There's people salmon fishing on it as well, but they're a bit too far away for the camera to catch. So I made it to the next lock waiting pontoon, and having tied up my lines, had to move in order to let one of the big commercial vessels get in. I then went to have a discussion with the lock keeper, who said, "Oh yeah, there's nothing here, get yourself down to Inverness." She did say that I wouldn't be able to get through the lock system down to Seaport Marina, but I would still be able to get through to Inverness. However, I needed to get a hurry on because the next two swing bridges were going to be closing at 6 o'clock and not opening until tomorrow. And if I got stuck before them, I would have absolutely nothing to do. Retrospectively, I wish I'd have stayed where I was. Well, I rushed and I got through the bridges. I didn't film that because I was rushing. And then I took my time and I got to the top of the next set of locks, like the lady said. And the pontoons here are in a boatyard. So my recommendation is not to rush out unless you can maybe get to Seaport Marina, which is at the other end of the locks, and it might be nicer. Bit disappointed, really. Sad times. Anyway, here we are. I'm not going to go out tomorrow. I'm going to do another day, do Seaport for Sunday, and then probably head out 8 o'clock Monday. And the tide should take me happily round to Lossiemouth. But I do need to check how to get into Lossiemouth because their website needs to tell me some information. See you soon.